There comes a time in life when the roles between parents and children begin to shift. You spend decades raising them, guiding them, sacrificing your dreams for theirs. But one day, you realize something is different. Maybe they start ignoring your advice. Maybe they brush off your opinions. Maybe they talk down to you. Or worse, they treat you like a burden. And it hurts. If your children have begun showing you less respect than you deserve, you're not alone. It's frustrating. It can make you angry. You might want to remind them of all the years you put them first, everything you gave up just so they could have a better life. But here's the truth. Anger won't fix it. In fact, it often drives them even further away. But don't lose hope. There's a better way to reclaim their respect, one that doesn't involve fighting, pleading, or building resentment. Today, I'll share 6 powerful actions you can take when your children stop respecting you. These aren't lectures. They're simple shifts in how you carry yourself, and they can completely change how your children see you. Some of them may surprise you, but stay with me until the end, and you'll discover how to regain your place, not just as a parent, but as a respected, cherished figure in their lives. Action 1. Stop chasing their approval. One of the most common traps parents fall into, especially as they get older, is trying too hard to win their children's approval. Maybe you've caught yourself doing it. You go out of your way to please them. You say yes when you want to say no. You prioritize their needs, hoping that if you just do enough, they'll finally appreciate you. But here's the painful truth. The more you chase their approval, the less they respect you. Respect isn't earned through self-sacrifice. It's earned through self-respect. If you're constantly bending over backward, always giving in, always trying to keep the peace, you're sending a message that your own feelings come second. And once they believe that, it becomes easy for them to take you for granted. I once knew a woman named Margaret. In her youth, she was strong and independent, but as the years passed, she let her children make all the decisions. She changed her plans to suit theirs. She stayed quiet when they spoke down to her. "I just want to keep the family together," she told me once. But the more she gave in, the more they overlooked her. They stopped valuing her. She thought she was keeping peace, but in reality, she was losing her voice. If your children don't respect you, the first step isn't to demand it. It's to stop acting like you need it. Set boundaries. Say no when you need to. Speak up, even if it makes them uncomfortable, because the moment you begin respecting yourself, they'll be forced to see you differently, and that's when the respect returns. Action 2. Don't argue. Lead by example. When your children dismiss your thoughts or treat you with disrespect, your natural instinct may be to push back, to argue, to remind them of all you've done. But let me save you years of heartache. Arguing doesn't work. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly started respecting you because you won an argument? Respect isn't earned through confrontation. It's earned through presence, through the calm confidence in how you carry yourself. If you respond to their disrespect with anger or desperation, you only reinforce the idea that they have power over you. I once met a man named Frank, a retired teacher who had once commanded classrooms with grace, but at home, his grown kids treated him like background noise. They ignored him, dismissed him, even laughed when he tried to correct them. At first, Frank argued back, desperate to prove he still mattered, but it only made things worse. Then he made a change. He stopped trying to win. He started listening. He spoke calmly, with quiet wisdom. He no longer needed their approval. He simply stood firm in who he was. And slowly, his children noticed. They saw a man who wasn't begging for respect, but embodying it. So if your children don't respect you, don't fight them for it. Show them what self-respect looks like. Speak with clarity. Carry yourself with grace. And most of all, never stoop to their level. When you hold your ground with quiet dignity, they'll feel it. And in time, they'll rise to meet you. If you're still watching this and finding value, comment number 2 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and turn on the bell. Your support helps us keep sharing content that inspires and empowers. Action 3. Withdraw emotional dependence. One of the hardest truths to accept as we age is this: you can't depend on your children to meet your emotional needs. You may love them more than anything, and of course, you want to feel that love returned. But the moment they sense that your happiness depends on their attention or validation, the balance of power shifts. Even your own children respect emotional independence. When they feel you need them to feel worthy, it adds pressure, and instead of feeling grateful, they begin to feel burdened. They pull away, they act impatient, and the more you chase their love, the less freely they give it. I remember Helen, a deeply kind mother who had poured her entire life into raising her kids. But when they grew up and got busy, she found herself waiting by the phone, aching for a call. When they didn't call, she called them over and over. She reminded them how much she missed them, how she wished they'd visit. But rather than drawing them in, it pushed them away. Her calls became obligations, not connections. Then one day, Helen stopped chasing. She began pouring into herself instead. She picked up new hobbies, reconnected with friends, took joy in her own life. And then something surprising happened. Her children began calling more often. They started showing up, not out of guilt, but because they now admired her. She was no longer waiting, she was living. The takeaway is simple. The less you rely on your children for emotional validation, the more they begin to value your presence. When they see you as whole and happy on your own, respect follows naturally. Action 4. Set boundaries and enforce them. One of the clearest reasons children lose respect for their parents is because the parents allow it. If you let your children speak to you harshly, ignore your time, or dismiss your feelings, they'll keep doing it. Not because they're cruel, but because people treat you how you teach them to. Setting boundaries doesn't mean starting fights or cutting ties. It means calmly, clearly defining what you will and won't tolerate, and standing by those limits. Take Robert, for example, a retired businessman who once commanded respect in boardrooms, yet struggled with his own adult kids. They interrupted him, ignored him, criticized his life. At first, he kept quiet, telling himself it wasn't worth the fight. But silence taught them that their behavior was okay. One day, Robert had enough. When his son interrupted, he said, "I'll continue when you're ready to listen." When his daughter dismissed him, he replied, "You don't have to agree with me, but I expect respect." And when they crossed the line, he calmly let them know. If they couldn't treat him with dignity, he wouldn't be around. It didn't change overnight, but gradually they got the message. Their father was no longer tolerating disrespect. And because he respected himself, they started respecting him too. Ask yourself, are you allowing the behavior you say you hate? Because if you don't set boundaries, they won't. If this message is resonating, drop a number 4 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our future videos. Action 5. Stop giving without appreciation. One of the fastest ways to lose someone's respect is to keep giving when they don't appreciate it. As parents, we often give out of love, our time, energy, even money, hoping it will bring us closer. But when that giving is met with entitlement instead of gratitude, something dangerous happens. We don't build love, we build expectation. And the moment we stop, they don't feel thankful. They feel inconvenienced. George, a father I once knew, was a generous man. He helped his kids financially, dropped everything for their needs, always putting them first. But instead of hearing thank you, he heard complaints. And when he needed support, they were suddenly too busy. So George made a change. He stopped offering help before it was asked. He stopped saying yes to everything. He began saying no and meaning it. At first, they were angry, but over time, they came to see his help as what it truly was, a gift, not a guarantee. If your kindness is being taken for granted, it may be time to pause. Step back. Ask yourself, what message are you sending? Because when your generosity is tied to respect, not obligation, they'll start valuing it far more. Action 6. Build a life outside of them. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to earn your children's respect is to show them that your happiness doesn't depend on them. As parents, it's natural to center your life around your kids. But once they're grown, clinging to that role can make you seem empty. And when they sense that your world stops without them, it doesn't inspire closeness. It creates distance. What commands respect is a parent who has a life of their own. Go travel. Take up a passion you never had time for. Connect with people your own age. Learn, grow, laugh, without needing their permission. Because when your children see that you're not just their parent, but a whole vibrant person, they begin to admire you in a new light. And that admiration is the root of real respect. So if your children have stopped treating you the way they should, don't fight for their respect. Inspire it through your strength, your dignity, your self-respect, and your life outside of them. Because the moment you stop chasing and start standing tall is the moment they begin to see you not just as a parent, but as a person worthy of honor.